sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Bags don't never want stuff. This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Get your fucking life together. And I got Sav giving me funny looks.
Cause you know you say funny things. But you know I'm in the building. Yo, I'm in the building.
I'm like, you gonna fuck your line up?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, you say it how you want. I be remixing my joke sometimes.
You know,
I switch to
that's how
Barstool
we
and
creatives.
You know, it is what it is. It
Right.
all flows.
Right.
But what's been good with you? How you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm here.
For anybody that's confused, we shot this episode recently. It just happened to be the coldest day since fucking March.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was kind of thinking about.
Got
like
sweats on. I don't want y'all to think like we bought y'all a throwback. I don't think we own any. Think we got to recover one video, but besides that, y'all got everything.
Plus, they can tell by the content when they hear what we talking about.
Yeah, I'm just
And they know global warming is still an issue too. They don't be talking about that no more because all they talk about is coronavirus. So,
but sometimes you click on some shit and you look at the screen and you be like, "Oh, this old," and then you don't feel like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I go back and watch old shit, especially podcasts, because you can always learn if you missed it.
Right.
It's conversation, it's information, it's all type of things you can learn.
All right. Agreed.
Dude, I got a Dell.
I hate you, yo.
I got my weight up.
I hate you. Nice little
old.
thing. That's a nice little screen, though.
It's
nice
old,
size.
but it worked. You know what I mean?
16 inch. That's nice size.
I don't know, 16.
It's a nice
18.
size.
I don't know. It's
a nice size.
It's the one. It's how they used to come.
Don't matter. It's getting you where you're not.
No,
you dig?
Absolutely. I needed to get my own electronics up, my devices up.
Yeah.
But copying for the low. Now I could be more productive. I think. It's gotta learn. It's gotta learn. So figure we'd acknowledge that we had more shit on the set because
as you should.
I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate this into my everyday life. Only problem with it is this back when you got a laptop and you put in your book bag and you actually felt it. Yeah. You can feel this bitch on your back. Yeah,
that's how it was. Because my first joint, not my first one, but one I got recently was like a 17. It was big. It was like a 17 inch. And I was all hyped. Like, is the screen going to be big? Not the move. Yeah. So now I got like a little 9 inch joint. I can throw in any of my little pocketbooks and be out. So it's cool. I work with it.
Good thing I'm a grown ass man with a big book bag, so it fits solid. But
yeah, man. I'm a female though with a whole bunch of stuff. I got eyeliner and 3 phones and whatever.
Yeah, see, I don't. But you know what though? You could go without. Look at that face.
Don't think I can.
Look at that face. I knew it. I figured I'd give it a shot.
Don't think I can go with anything. I
be trying to carry. It's naturally beautiful, baby.
Listen, I be trying to carry the smallest bag, and that still be like looking like a clown car. Like
I never understood that growing up. Now that I'm older, and I know what women keep in their bags, I kind of get it.
My life.
But like back in the day, like the rule was don't go in a woman's purse. You're gonna see something you don't want to see.
Might be true.
Shock yourself, whatever. I never knew what that was.
Now
but
you understand?
I believed them. Now I understand.
Let me tell you, with my bags,
now I get it.
I went. So it's a game. I mean, I know they're now doing more co-ed baby showers, but it's a game that they play at most baby showers where it's like they name all these random things and they see who has it in their bag and you get the points. Well, you know who wins like every single time. Don't let me. When I carry the little cute clutch, I know I'm losing. I don't even play. But when I got my everyday bag, I win every time. I be having nail clippers, like baby nail clipper, like crazy shit. Like,
what do y'all be winning for that? What's the usual average gift for that?
Yo, they was mad because I wanted my nieces. I think they was like, you can't win. I'm like, but we all family, so who can win?
Yeah, like that was strange.
I got a food processor though, like a chopper joint for like my sister is.
That's a good
dope.
prize.
My sister is so dope. Like she does the best events. So
that's some shit you could really use.
Yeah, I got a food processor.
That's dope. I think the best thing I won was when I won the Bluetooth speaker at my job Christmas party. And it was only dope because I was telling myself, I'm going to buy myself a Bluetooth speaker for Christmas. And when in that bitch, it came up on the one time that I said, damn, that's something I would want. They called me.
Guess what? I want the same thing on mine too. At my job. I want the same thing. I had the Bluetooth. My mine wasn't that decent. I had probably the Five Below joint with the fish that be floating around. But it didn't matter. It played music for me. Yeah. It was cool.
As long as, because, I mean, when you thinking to yourself that you need one,
I need it. Exactly. It was live. Like I was happy. Like I was happy.
I was excited. And when I bought the wagon and I get the radio fixed, I put the speaker in the back.
Boom.
Nigga.
Ain't about nothing.
I mean, it ain't bothering me.
Ain't worried about nothing.
I done had wheels with no radio for a year.
Me too.
And rode around in my thoughts happily. I ain't gonna lie.
I put my earphones in when I used to do that. Listen.
It's illegal. Be careful.
Okay. I still
Even
do
when you
anyway.
talking on your phone.
I have
it's
one in and one
illegal.
out. I do that anyway.
And right now, they letting people get away with it. But if somebody wants to fuck with you, it's an excuse to fuck with you.
Guess what? One in and one out. They ain't gonna see the other one.
Yeah, just make sure you do it
Make
that
sure
way.
it's this one, so it's that one. They're not
Yeah,
gonna see
so
that
it's
one
the-
too far. And I got tent, so I'm good.
Because shit like that, people don't be aware of.
But it makes sense. It's illegal because you can't hear your surroundings.
You can't
it makes
hear
sense.
if it's an emergency behind
It
you.
makes sense.
Because, I got caught like that as a youngin' with my with my earbuds in. They yanked me. I'm like, what's up? They like, you can't. I'm like, damn, that do make sense. Like, I
Did they
got
give you
it.
a warning? Or they gave you
Yeah, they gave me a warning. They ain't draw on me. But, it was a heat check. They was trying to see if they could find me filthy. I gave them an excuse to, just like a dickhead could pull you over for them air fresheners and shit like that.
Exactly. People don't listen to me when
You
I
know
always
what I
say,
mean?
you'll never see me with an air freshener hanging from my rear view.
Now I see people with their mask hanging from there, and I'm
You
like,
won't see
that's
me that
even
either.
more bulky.
Exactly. I thought about that too. Not that I thought about putting it, but I thought about that when I saw people doing it. I'm like, this all.
That's extra.
I'm cool.
And I mean, I know some of y'all cars it ain't easy to keep your mask clean. I know you got to put on your face. You got to figure something out. Be like my grandmama and them. Put a sandwich bag in your fucking car.
I got that too, but
Get you a
actually,
little Ziploc.
just get a brown paper bag because the plastic bacteria can
Yeah, it
build up
does.
in that.
You're
So
right.
get a
You're
brown paper
absolutely
bag. 'Cause
right.
I got brown paper bags in my car.
They gave us brown paper bags at the Fiddler that night. You right.
And I saw how you had your joint, and I was like, yeah, that's dope. But where I was gonna put mine, it was near my keys, and I didn't want my face to be near my keys because your keys be dirty. So I got mine on my I wiped my volume joint off, and I just got mine hanging on my little radio thing.
Yeah, that works. Mine is convenient because big ass gear
Yeah.
shit fall all the way the fuck up here. So
I'm just leery, you know.
no, I get it. And
But it was a dope spot. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do
I
that.
knew you was gonna try it.
I told you I was.
My young boy.
Okay, oh yeah.
You can borrow it. You can borrow that. I mean, just make sure you bring it
I
back.
give it back to you. Right?
Make sure you bring it back.
Let me get that joint
You
right
gotta
back.
come back full circle for me.
You got it. You got
So what else is going on though?
Man, everything. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm
Seen
trying to be
you-
on the.
About to say, I seen you at Fly Day that just passed. That was
Yes.
groovy. We finishing that bottle now.
Nobody told me that y'all saw. So listen, right? Shout out to my leg because I was really loving my leg that day, right?
Ah!
Shout out to
Yo!
my leg. I got so many compliments that day, right?
The shirt look good on you.
Yo, I got so many compliments. But the night before that, I went to a pole dancing class. Nobody told me that y'all could see y'all didn't. You ain't see them bruises on my leg?
I ain't peep.
Oh, because I saw it that night. Like
I ain't peep.
I'm walking around this joint like this all day and nobody said nothing.
I ain't peep. Somebody
So-
probably peeped. They probably was all in your world. I don't be in your world like that. Once I looked and I thought you had it on as a skirt, I'm like, Then I
Yeah.
said, oh, she got shorts on. So then I could look. But after that, I wasn't looking too hard. Cause
Them Jones, and they low. They like right. I'm like, yo, them Jones is very visible. Like I hope don't nobody think somebody whooping my ass or something. Like
you got to blame the dog.
no, I'm gonna blame my pole. Like I got a pole for real. Like,
Little jokey joke. Little jokey joke.
I'm serious though.
No, we know you got a pull.
No, but so that was funny. I was cracking up when I saw that. Like, dang, I wonder if anybody.
But it was love and it was a little reunion again.
It was. I had a good time on Friday. I'm glad that I came on Fly Day.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that I came through. It was definitely love. Shout out to my brother, Senator 215, Mozart, my sis chick with the juice, Toot, Shad, everybody from Glocawear, Shad, Poe. We just had a good time.
Happy birthday, Juice Chick.
Happy birthday to my sis.
She was
I wish
surprised
I coulda made
yesterday.
it.
She ain't know nothing about it. We was out there with
Neither
her
did
folk.
I.
Yeah, I found out last minute, and I just figured I'd bust a move. That was the easiest move to bust.
Right.
So I made it happen. But we chilled out there for a little bit. It started drizzling. Everybody started packing up.
It looked
and
like
dipping,
love. That
and
looked like a
really
good
ain't
time.
even rain after that. But
It looked like a good time.
no, we had a good time. Everybody got the merch. She getting them shirts off, nigga.
You know how many shirts I got?
It's about 20 chick with the juice shirts out there when I pulled up. I'm
I
like,
got
okay.
like 4.
You
Like-
heavy.
I got 4.
You heavy.
For real.
I only got the 2. I gotta get another one. I done wore mine.
Well, I got 2 and he got 2. I got 3 and he got 1.
Okay.
So yeah, I like your joint though. You had it on Fly Day.
Oh yeah. She laced
That
me.
joint was
She laced
dripping.
me. She was you was like, is it gold or is it yellow?
Then when I seen it, I was like,
She
no,
gold.
that joint was gold.
She gold in the motherfucker, man.
I was trying front like I could wear my Pumas, which I was like, wrong color.
No. And you know what I seen that was crazy? Just now, day or two ago, Kanye congratulating Kamala,
Despite running,
saying that he can't wait to run against her.
yes,
And he another one of these dickheads that I keep mentioning on my platforms, but this shit is so disturbing. unless you look at it like DL Hughley, I believe DL.
See, I didn't see DL's take, but let me tell you what I feel. Cause you know what? Because I wanted to speak about a couple things, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to speak about it on this app or at a later time.
Let me know.
But a lot of people, like, you know, be like, this dickhead. But, yo, mental illness is real. Like,
yeah, but
mental
that's why
illness
I was
is
about to say
real.
DL's point.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know what DL said. I didn't get a chance to hear what he said. But I see a lot of mental health issues or conditions, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's something that's overlooked. Like, I was watching a news report, and they were saying how there's a lot of there's a lot of money in that CARES Act for physical medical attention because of the coronavirus, but it was overlooked for the mental health allocations for funding. So they're saying that I don't know if it was just veterans or just specifically, it was like 100% of an uptick in calls related to mental health and mental illness.
I'm sure. I expected that, actually.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that now, you know, they're identifying it, so hopefully there might be some funding, but I just feel like it's a shame that people who are faced with that don't really get the resources that they should be entitled to.
Now, I don't feel
It's
like
a
he's
challenge.
on that list.
Not financially. Financially.
We'll watch. So we just watched I wanted to find the video I was looking for, and I'll send it to you later, is from his show. The radio show,
okay.
The radio show he has, where he's talking about it was in real time, more or less. It wasn't waiting for when he had a Vlad interview, which is what we was looking at. It was at a time where something had just happened and he spoke on it the next day, so he got into more detail about it.
Right.
And what he was saying was that the mania or the rants, whatever you call them, when they've all been the same, and a lot of the times in the past, we've blamed him on rollouts. We blamed him on his mental capacity, and that's those things. But I think what I've realized this last year that a lot of people don't realize, this shit is all year now.
It is.
He's been doing something every 3 weeks,
what?
and then last 3 months has been like every 4 days.
Right, and that could be the mania. I'm telling you.
I understand that could be mania, but I don't think I'm giving him a pass.
I don't know, but I also saw him, like, I think he might really need help. Like, he posted, I miss my
he
brother.
needs help.
I mean, I know he needs help, but he just posted to Jay, like, I miss my brother. Like,
He needs help.
he's calling out for help. Like,
But people are reaching out to him, and then when people fly out to him, he says, I'm fine. They say he's fine, and then he does the same
that's
thing
mental
again.
help. I'm telling you, like, I'm being introduced to so many things that I never was exposed to before, and now I'm having a different perspective on things. Like, I would have also been feeling the same way if this was a couple weeks ago. I
feel you. I understand that, and like, you know,
and I'm not empathizing because a person is
No.
accountable and responsible for whatever they do.
yeah. Clarify, because I was about to say you don't have to, but this ain't me. This dumb.
Right.
But no, that's cool.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not empathizing. A person definitely has to be responsible and accountable, but at the same time, there's some other underlying issues that's going on.
Yeah.
That's affecting it.
But when you get to a certain point, and because he's an adult, so nobody can force you in anything, not long term, right? So when the best doctors in the country are reaching out to you, psychiatrists, regular, nutritionists, all type of people that think that they have, some kind of way to help you.
Right.
And you saying, I don't need help, I'm just a free thinker, and people don't want me to think freely. They're
Right.
trying to shut me down, which is in reaction to medication. I know that. I took medication that sedated me before, and I know, like, you fight that shit. But at the same time, do you, like you say, he's still responsible. So how do you pick up and say, I'm not going to utilize any of these resources? I don't need them.
I'm telling you, I would have never thought this way before if it hadn't have been for recent. Like,
But
I'm
I
telling
feel
you,
like
it's the mania.
I feel like even with the recent things that have happened, things have been are being done to try to correct those situations.
There's an attempt.
Yeah. And I mean, nothing's perfect, and everything takes time.
But what's important is people's support system, right?
And that's the thing. I feel like he got the whole world as a support system.
Right, he has the whole world, but I'm talking about his close knit, the people who live in his house, the people who.
So he need to get away from them
every day.
Do he need to get away from them?
I feel like they might be failing him.
Because if, like, it's been said that sometimes when people are in these, people take advantage and they feed them the things that they regurgitate. You said something, spoke to something like that before.
Mm-hmm.
So are they that force? Because I know at one point he had the little black girl that I felt was getting paid to say all the wrong shit and was telling him, and then he found out that she was saying that he was saying stuff that he wasn't saying or utilizing it in a way that he didn't intend, and he got away from her.
Right.
He pulled a stunt a couple weeks ago where he ran away from them and went on a rant about Chris and all of that, all that kind of stuff, and then apologized a day later or 2 days later. But it's like, is it the same thing? Is that what he saw? Did he get a glimpse of, oh, maybe I need to, like, is it a real thing that he needs to get away from them? Or is that problem part of just him having a problem and it's not going to work until you get yourself together?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
I think it's a
we
little
know
bit
they got a
because
reputation.
The person has to be willing to help themselves, but at the same time, if your structure, if your support is not,
but don't they?
It's not about money. It's not about.
I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about money. Don't you think they telling him to get help? You don't think they tell him to get help?
How are you telling him to get help?
I don't know.
How are you? You know what I'm saying? It's not about what
you do. I know it's a way to do things. I'm just like, when you say it's about them, I'm just like, I gotta believe at this point, Kim is like, you this isn't going in one direction. You know what I mean? Like, even if you have strong thoughts and feelings on something and they're anti what the regular people are thinking, you're all over the place.
Until you be in a room with somebody that's in that situation, I'm trying to tell you.
I feel like I haven't had to live with
until
them,
you are close to somebody in that situation. I'm telling you, it's some things that I'm definitely understanding now because I sound like you before a couple weeks ago.
But in my
and now educating myself, I'm just learning some things.
I don't want to get into too much of him because I brought him up to talk about the Kamala thing because I just thought it was ironic.
It was very interesting.
It was one of them things that's like, well, leave her the fuck alone. Like, don't put her in the middle of your bullshit if you already know what the climate is towards your antics. But is it any different than the boxers that hit gloves before they go? Yeah, in the sense that it's like, if we're given maybe it's my mentality of thinking like, all right, you're doing a whole lot of bullshit, but you also don't want the world to think of you the way that we think about Trump. Whereas you say something against every demographic that matters that's not you. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I felt like at least the black woman, the first black whatever, that's the one you just hold your stone. Right. Like, don't be that guy that like everything you say is just anti everybody. And he didn't say anything bad about her, but in Kanye, we know it's said in, you read it in Kanye's voice when you read it. Said in jest, right? Yeah, like it's his tone when he, and that's why I say you read it in his voice, because it ain't no tone in text. But we know we know you, dog. Like, even when we thought, when people say, yo, he's this, and then he said a couple cool things, and motherfucker said, well, he's that. Motherfucker's like, nah, he ain't really that. Right. Now he's showing us that he's not that. Mm-hmm. So I just felt like this would have been a good time to just be like, I'm not going to make myself this guy. The spectacle. Yeah, not that way. Let me keep it on task with what I'm trying to do and acting like I'm trying to prove. Right. Because I don't know what he's really trying to prove. That's why I said I don't know if he knows what he's trying to prove. That's why I said I didn't want to get too deep into him. To be honest. Because if he ain't getting deep into him, we don't need to get that deep into him. Because like I say, like, if they don't understand, you ain't supposed to understand. Because if you ain't on a level, then we could try, but you're not really going to get it. Mm-hmm. But, and when I say they, I don't mean mentally. I mean, like, anybody that comes from a different mode of thinking. Right. It's going to be very hard for you to just from the outside get on a level by highlights and shit like that. But as far as the accomplishment of Kamala, what you thinking? As a woman of color, you know, I appreciate it. Some family members of mine, I really want to have a conversation with them, and I'm sure that she's not the only person who has this insight. But I saw one of my family members post something that said, I guess Biden knows he intentionally threw the election when he selected Kamala to be his running mate. I saw an article that said that, but all of the reaction from Republicans and from their platforms, they acting like they scared of her, yo. I think they are. They acting like they scared to death. And then, not only are they doing that, they're putting out opposite reports at the same time about the same shit. Right. They'll say that she hates police, but then they'll say she's locked up more people than anybody ever. Right. And it's like, it's extremes that are polar opposites. Right. But so what she also said was that she's not even black. And I'm like, last time I checked, Jamaicans was black. What's the definition of black? And Indians are brown. That's been a debate this week. So, to my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we all came from Africa. They came to the islands before they even made it up here.
We are dependents. We're descendants of Africans.
I'm gonna simplify it.
Go ahead.
People are mixing race with
A nationality or ethnicity.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is, and this is why I don't really
Great
fault,
simplification. I love that.
this is why I don't fault them for feeling that way. I dislike it for a reason, but I don't fault them. And the reason I don't fault them is because there's no such thing as black.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like black
so
is
colored or colorless.
It's a mandate made by the U.S. for a people that looked a certain kind of way.
Right.
So if you don't identify with American things that way, just like a lot of other countries that come over here, they don't take on our culture. They just utilize our resources. You see what I'm saying? Then you're not going to buy into that. Now, the reason that I say I don't like it is because if you still look at us as your brothers and sisters, as we look at a lot of them, probably out of more of a necessity than they do to return it, then you know that we're still the same. We're still one and the same. Your people got off at a different port than my people got off at,
we came from the same
which
place.
was your point from the beginning of what you were saying. But it's literally mixing race with ethnicity. And people are blurring the line, and it comes from not having to live under an American construct where you live somewhere that's dominated by somebody else that tells you who you are.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I get it. I just don't like it.
Because she's still, if you're gonna look at it that way, she's still American. Like so,
no, but that's the thing. Like, but they won't even identify as American. They're still Jamaican. Like, I've only
about
seen
her, not her dad. I'm speaking about
you talking about
her
that
specifically.
Oh no, I was just saying the overall debate. Like, cause I seen couple comedians put up stuff about it on Facebook. Denny Live was one of them. Somebody else had put up something. They were just asking general questions like, damn, I didn't know Jamaicans didn't think they was black, or Jamaicans ain't black now. It was like short, and
every Jamaican I know say they black.
And 100 fucking comments explaining,
I know a lot of them.
explaining all the different things, and there was people on there snapping, no, fuck that, they this, I'm this, and I know that my dad know that, and we was raised that we was black anyway.
What about Marcus Garvey?
But then it's like no. And I get it, but I'm just saying, like, that's from what I read. Because, like, who the fuck am I? But I was just reading. And it's like a lot of it comes from just not identifying with that initial thing. Like, they told y'all was black. That type thing. Right. You know what I mean? Y'all bought that shit. Like,
right.
And
but
that's
look
the
at
thing.
us, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, now you saying, even though we bought it, we look just like you. And if we are in the same place, we're going to get treated the same. It's not their problem. Like, it's not.
I don't know, because I spoke, and this is prior to this. This wasn't even a conversation.
And I would love somebody
to
comment and give feedback for this.
I had a conversation with a few, and I promise this is way before, this is probably a year or two ago, before this even was a topic. And we spoke about inequities in Jamaica, and the same things happen there that happen there. The light-skinned people are treated better than dark-skinned people. Like, the same things exist.
They was ruled by
British
another
rule,
country.
the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing exists.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, how remember when all this shit started and T.I. and all them was like, we ain't gonna do that to Atlanta different, and then the next day some shit happened in Atlanta.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, when you're so comfortable somewhere because it feels like it's you, then you don't identify with everybody else even though they're right next to you. Like, just think about the fact that this is an ongoing problem in this country that the shit hit the fan with, and you had entertainers saying, but not this city, where they have more racist cops in that state than most fucking cities. I mean, most places. You see what I'm saying? Like, they were so comfortable by the impression or the guise of we live in Wakanda, when in all actuality, Wakandians don't run Wakanda.
Right.
No matter who's in office,
right,
we know who pulling the strings ain't us, because that's the reason the governor wanted to sue the mayor for making motherfuckers safer.
Right.
And he had to rescind that, but he was able to sue. That was on the books. She had something negative that'll still pop up next to her name for no reason but to doing her job that he didn't want to do.
Right.
So it's like people were defending this motherfucker before that. Less than a week before, he was being defended by relation to how they state operates. Mm-hmm. Knowing that if you go 15 minutes outside of Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like, real shit. Like, you gotta be scared if you pass Augusta on some real shit. So, like, it's not even cool to even think that way, but that's in this country they live at, and they thought that way. And they told us that. They went on rants and speeches and had to recant and apologize. But the difference with them is, shout out to Keisha Lance Bottoms, T.I. could call her. yo, shit fucked up. Fuck y'all doing? It's going down. Like, this ain't gonna be cool. She's like, well, can you help me? What do you think I should? How do we get this?
And that's what it's about.
That's what you need. But then when it goes to the governor, and that nigga just smack everybody's fucking hand. Like, that's crazy. But they do have a little bit of leverage for things that may not be big enough for him to give a fuck, or other people that are in charge to give a fuck about, that they could get done. And I'm sure she's doing a great job with such. But we see what happens when it's something that people care about, something that the national media might pick up. They put their foot down. They say, no, we still red. Period. So it's like, it's very strange, but that's the thing. And that's like, to tie it back into Kamala, if she's that kind of personality, you know, because she's a mother, she's come from struggle, immigrant parents.
Yeah, and I mean, she said she's all like, she grew up with a stroller view of the civil rights movement. Yeah,
because
her parents were activists. So she was born into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her words, I didn't have to be taught about it. I was born into it. I knew about it. Nobody had to teach me anything.
Right.
So I can respect that. You know, someone who understands the plight, even if she wasn't a colored person, even if, you know, she wasn't brown, I can respect someone who understands the plight and what needs to be done.
Can I ask you a question? Is it more exciting to have a black vice president than a black president? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause we know up until now, till this one, with presidents, like, their hands used to look like they was tied with certain shit.
Right.
But with a VP, you not like in that quite that position, and a lot of the stuff you handle are probably the things that apply to where.
Exactly.
I wonder if that, like, I just thought about that.
No,
like, leverage wise, like, as far as having a, you know, motherfuckers over your shoulder all the time and all that shit, like, I feel like
you can actually move and shake. The VP can move and shake.
I feel like you should be able to. I feel like that's the reason that Biden, Gore, all the motherfuckers that people was talking about how much they got done, they want to talk about why they was doing it. You see what I'm saying? It happens after the fact when you find out, damn, while he was in term, this guy had this, and he handled that.
Mm-hmm.
They make announcements. We have done such and such, such and such, such and such. After the term, you find out what the VP and the people behind been doing, unless it's the military.
Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on her work as AG? Because a lot of people talking about the crime bill and that type of thing.
I think it's one of those things where she had a job to do in a certain climate, and just like we were saying about Keisha, you only got but so much control when you are a young black woman in those positions.
That's exactly my sentiment.
I feel like she's also done other things on the other side of that, which is why the contradiction always comes up when they talk about her record as AG.
Right.
Is because there were things that was
sure,
and then there was other things that was on this side.
Right.
And either way, she's created history in California already. You know what I mean? Like, she's already done a lot with what she's done, and if anything, if what she's done we could consider at least fair, you know what I mean? Like, right. It wasn't vindictive, then people will trust her based on that. It's those relationships right. Still carry on from right. People that know her for that, people that's in position that she can use in her new position. Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I totally agree with you when you say, you know, people have a job to do. That's the first thing. But also, when I heard her speak about it, she was asked this question maybe a year or so ago. Mm-hmm. And basically she said, you know, it's good to have somebody on the inside, too, that know how the things work. You know, so, yeah, she had a job to be done, but to acknowledge the fact that she was on the inside to pay, you know, for certain initiatives, for certain things to actually happen.
And I think that's what makes her the most qualified to check Joe. You see what I'm saying? I think everybody had positions. Anybody's considering, of course, is qualified for different reasons.
Right.
But I think that her background makes it on a lot of things that matter to us, where she could directly be, hell no.
Right.
That's the last thing you want to do. Not, I think you should reconsider. Maybe we should pick another strategy. Let me tell you something. Like,
she started the conversation. Let me tell you something. This is how this is going to play, okay? Right? If you do this.
No, she do it the other way. No disrespect, but they get disrespectful.
That's the
you
other
motherfuckers
way.
Is in here acting like old white men, and we need to change that mentality.
Right. See, I don't do no disrespect. I mean, let me tell you this. This is how it's going to work.
No, but that's what they do.
Because I'm a strategist. I reason and I do all the risk assessment, and I'll let you know if it's going to go this way. But if you do this way, it might be better for you.
I mean, politically correct is only made up because of them. They the ones that gotta give a fuck. We started caring for no reason. I never understood why people on our level start preaching to people about being politically correct.
Right.
Now
politically correct and being not rude or ignorant.
Yeah, being empathetic, being kind to people, being considerate. I understand that. But to make me have to say some shit in a way that I don't even know how to say it.
Right.
When the way I was saying it wasn't wrong, it just wasn't politically correct.
Right.
I wasn't being disrespectful. It just wasn't
how that person
soothing to your set of ears, which is a small percentage of the people that I'ma ever run into. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. It's like I always tell people, I speak our version of English, Ebonics, and 2 weeks of French.
And you know I'm gonna say 2 years, but go ahead.
And Ebonics gets used more than any of that shit. Real rap. And it's more fun.
You had 3 years of French.
No, I've had
5
years of French.
You probably had 2 years in high school.
We had 2 in middle.
We had 3
in middle. I had 2 in high school at least. So
exactly.
About 5.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I passed.
Parlez-vous français?
I never went to I never went to summer school for French, so I always passed.
Right.
But we cheated a lot in French too, especially in high school. I used to take your test off your paper and copy the whole fucking paper and put it back on your desk.
Yo,
like,
I'm a weirdo. I went to high school and took Spanish. You know we had.
It's
French.
easier to just do it blatantly and in a short amount of time
True.
than to keep peeking.
Mm-hmm.
Smarter that way.
It is true.
As long as the person ain't looking around acting crazy, they just keep acting like they got a paper on their desk. She don't see nothing.
True. I don't know why I decided to take Spanish, although we had 3 years of French.
That's why I didn't take Spanish. I was like, I should know something.
But I used to be in Spanish class answering in French, and I wasn't even trying to be smart. Like, we literally just finished French. I don't know. Like,
but there's similarities in certain things in French and Spanish
there's
too.
So many similarities, but some words like we watch TV is not the same thing. Like we said, je regarde la télévision or whatever. That's French. Mm-hmm. Regarde is not the word in Spanish. And she was like, "That's French." Good thing my teacher knew both languages too. I was like, "I promise, I'm not trying to show off." I was just being a geek by putting my hand up first.
She just said that French is fast as shit, and she was right. I'm listening to all of the. I'm like,
I had French since we was in Ivy League.
The day on a regard was Spanish, but everything
regard.
else you said,
I didn't say je regard. I said je regard. I did.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, you threw Spanish and your French, but mostly you was 92% of the way there. I'm listening like you still know how that shit.
Cause then I went to Creole for my next door neighbors was Haitian, so I started learning Creole and French with them. So,
but I still pick up shit in movies and shit. Mm-hmm. Like if it's French, I don't have to read all the subtitles.
Right.
Some of them I do. But like I catch myself not looking down sometimes when it's French. Like, oh shit, I do that. Cause context clues is a motherfucker.
Absolutely. But that's why it's important too. I was just saying how it's important. I was telling this to my kids about like knowing other languages, especially for English, Latin, because a lot of the prefixes and suffixes, Latin. So you can kind of understand like re or you know what I mean, like you're doing it again or you know what I mean, like things like that. So I was already explaining that to my kids of the importance of learning other languages. It's this thing it's this program. You might have seen it on Facebook, promoted by like Ice Cube and a few other celebrities. Get lit, educated, something like that. Educated and lit, educated and lit, something like that. Where they do like hip hop music, but they learning and they teach them English and Spanish together. They teach them science.
I saw Cube speak to that in the interview. I didn't see it on my
yeah, so I've looked it up. So I'm gonna get it for my kids. It's not even expensive. It's not expensive at all. It's not expensive.
Somebody else had a program that they was promoting. Another rapper. Damn, somebody you wouldn't even think, and it was for kids. It might have been
the same one though.
It might have been.
I saw multiple celebrities promoting the same
I don't think
program.
that was the name, but I sent it to Poe, and Poe and his peoples researched it for his kids, and damn, I can't remember what it was, but that's actually what I was about to say when you were saying you was talking to them about the importance of learning languages. I was about to say now kids have so much access to so many different ways to do so that if we had that, we might be working in fucking France by now.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Gifted and lit. That's what it's called. Gifted and lit.
No, that's dope. We might have been, went over there for internship and never came back type of shit if we'd have had the programs they got. Because we had a couple things, like there was the equivalent to the Hooked on Phonics for language learning. I forget what that was called.
We
but
had
a lot of
kinds
that
stuff in our
shit,
computer classes,
but
though.
a lot of that shit was boring. You talking about hip hop motherfuckers teaching kids shit?
Yo, that's going to get
And
their
remember,
attention.
we had the rapping teacher, the rapping scientist.
Yeah,
boy.
we did.
That shit wasn't dope.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to real rap back then, and I'm like, he kind of like just, hey, B, C, D,
Right.
E, F, G,
Right.
E.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I need some patterns or something, baby.
Mr. Robinson was interesting, though.
Mr. Robinson did a good job.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson did a good job, and he made a song that's inspirational that he actually took to like 20 different schools and taught the kids.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm on a remix. I don't know if it's ever gonna come out.
Shout out to that.
Yeah. Crazy thing is, I think I killed that shit, but I don't think he got it. He texted me like, I don't know. Then he hit me back like, my bad, I let my son hear it, and he explained it. It's, you know, it's terminologies, and like on a song like that, you know, I'm wild. So on a song like that, I gotta say things a certain kind of way to make it interesting, since I can't say things for shock. Like, you know, that's not for shock value, but that's as shocking as what I usually say.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to wordplay a certain way or like insinuate certain things, not anything that was graphic that I was leaving out, but not make what I was saying so cut and dry.
Sure, absolutely.
Like I just said,
Not
I didn't want it to be A, B, C. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So it was like a on-off pace I did, and I think his son was like, "No, that's like what you mean? Like he did what he's supposed to do." And I just was appreciative for the opportunity, because just sitting there recording with him was just like funny as hell. Like, I remember he was the one that taught me how to count a bar. He taught all of us. I don't think everybody was paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I
remember singing with Mr. Robinson.
When I was reintroduced to it, I remember somebody going, it's 1, 2, 3. I'm like, exactly.
Right.
That is it. Because I always could count them and couldn't figure out why, because I never thought that I really mastered the concept of what he was saying. Because he said it quick one day. Like, it wasn't like a music class. It was like during class.
Right.
But another thing he did was he used to play music and make us identify the instruments. When at that time, in our heads...
Is that where I got that from? Because I do that to my kids.
In our heads, for most of us, whether we realize it or not, we thought a beat was a beat.
Right. Not understanding.
We didn't understand it took multiple layers of things to be put in the right spaces at the right volume, right timing, and all of that to make that beat special.
I definitely do that with my kids.
And he made us do that. He played music in classes 4th grade, and what do you hear? And everybody point out what they heard and stuff like that. But it was funny because some of what we heard wasn't even on there.
Right.
Some of what we heard wasn't what we thought it was. Right. We didn't know. And me loving music so much, that made me start identifying those sounds.
See, y'all only had him in 4th grade for music then, right?
I had
after
him
that, we ain't had Mr. Robinson for music by the time I came back in 5th grade.
I had him for class and for music in 4th grade, and I had him in 6th grade.
I had him in 6th grade, too, but you had him for a homeroom in 6th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had Miss Nichols, so I had him for something.
I had him in 6th because that's when we got the
older lady. We had that older lady for music, so I never got that experience.
Yeah.
Like with the instruments and all that.
And that's what I'm saying. But he used to talk about music in regular class. Like he used to just be like, that was his thing.
Right.
And it used to break up. His smart thing about it is, kids need something to break up the regular bullshit. And he used to break it up with stuff like that. And that interested me at the time. I was trying to rap back then.
Actually, no, I don't think I even had Mr. Robinson, but I remember singing for whatever programs we used to do. Like I remember.
Yeah, he always taught us them songs for the programs.
I would be singing with him then, but I don't even think I had him as a teacher.
Yeah, that wasn't music class. That was rehearsals for the program.
Yeah.
But in 6th grade, he bought the hamsters. We had hamsters, and then they had babies. And we watched the babies grow. They came out looking like gummy bears and shit. They was red, no fur. And then he brought his dog in, and he got in trouble because he snuck the dog in through the upstairs and through the back and shit. He got caught. Like, yo, and you know what's funny? He told me a lot of funny shit. Like, he's like, yo, I love your mom, yo. He said, I used to have a prep before or after my lunch and be like, yeah, I'm going to run past the house and do something real quick. And I go in the house and I lay down and I oversleep. And your mom be calling me.
Like,
and I'll be like, oh, Miss Rice, it's okay. I'm already covering your class. Just come on. I ain't going to say nothing. He said, yo, I loved your mom. Like, and it's just funny because, like, that's the grown-up teacher shit that's going on while we down here thinking these people are perfect people.
Right.
Not realizing they still partying every night, go to happy hour. I'm not saying him, but when you at happy hour, who you be in there with? Teachers, nurses.
My best friend is a teacher, okay?
And they be at every 4 o'clock venue.
But guess what? Ever since she became a teacher, she can't drink no more. That's so funny. She cannot hold her liquor. She cannot drink. Because
she ain't doing it like she used to.
Nope. But she used to be the one. Like,
but I know at school, middle school, elementary school, It's at least 6, 7 of them that used to come in at least 2-3 times a week to the bar, and they be in there deep as hell, and they be in there talking shit about the school and about the wild ass kids. And you could just tell they was just blowing off steam type shit, like innocent as hell.
Right.
I mean, they get wild because they blowing bread on each other, everybody buying rounds.
Right.
But they wouldn't never be in there like, they wasn't in there looking to meet somebody. They wasn't in there worried about what nobody else was doing. They just like, man, them damn kids, we going to the joint. And they do their thing. And it's like, back when you were a kid, you don't even realize, like, they're still partying. Like, they partying for real. They know how to party. But they still do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sometimes when you come in the morning, the teacher ain't with that shit.
I think Mr. Wolfinger used to come and hungover.
Oh, Mr. Wolfinger used to come and roast it.
I think he definitely used to come and hungover.
Yep, he definitely did. I know he did.
Mm-hmm.
I know he did. But it's funny because you realize that shit in hindsight. Some stuff you notice when you're younger, but when I think back, I be like, damn, that makes sense.
Me and Shay, shout out to Shay, was just talking about that. We was talking about that.
Whatever.
We was talking about family matters, though. We was just talking about family matters.
That sounded like the smoothest cover up ever. We was just talking about family matters.
No, we was literally talking about the show Family Matters. But whatever. But we was also talking about how smooth it was. All the shows changed the moms at the end. Like, I didn't realize they had a different. I forgot they had a different mom on Family Matters. Like, we was literally talking about Family Matters. But yeah, same thing with Fresh Prince. Like, we talk about that.
She a little throw.
The first one, Aviv, the first one.
She like, and I don't think it's like though like crazy. I think one of her rants made people think she was crazy. I think she's like extremely different in her mentality.
I want to see the latest thing because she just had a couple things lately that she has been saying.
I ain't click on none of them.
Yeah, I didn't click on it, but I want to see it though, because it was after the Will and Jada thing, and it wasn't about Will and Jada. It was about the show. Like she says, the real reason why something I didn't really. Probably
because she heard the rumblings of the reboot. You know, they supposed to do that darker one at the Young Boy. Yeah, I think it's like the one that the Young Boy had. Remember the Young Boy made a trailer of the Fresh Prince, but it was dark. The dark side of it was a couple years ago, and it went viral. I feel like they picked it up or some form of it, but I'm thinking with Will, it's probably Young and probably in on it, type of shit.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it was a young, just like how what's the name wrote Creed.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, like just a young black guy that loved the thing and was like, this is a way we could do it and make it better. And he actually went through the trouble of creating a trailer and getting it done, and you could see the angle that they was going from, where it was like, well, what about his life in Philly? Like, how crazy was it in Philly that he got sent to L.A.? Like, motherfuckers don't just send you across the country away from them unless it's bad.
Right.
You could have went to Jersey. You could have went to Virginia. Why you had to go all the way to fucking L.A.? What was going on? It wasn't just that time you got beat up.
Right.
And then getting beat up ain't a reason to get sent away.
Right. Well, that was the same reason that Will went to Bel Air.
But that's what I'm saying.
I got in one little fight. My mom got scared.
Like, it wasn't that. So let's get into what it really was. And I think that's a dope angle to attack that from, instead of just doing a traditional reboot the way they've been doing them. Where it's like we're carrying on and picking up the story from 20 years later of this person as a parent. It's like, no, let's start back from young Will.
Right.
And we can get there, but I want to dig in back a little bit in the young Will. I think that'll be dope. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Only reboot I've ever said I was looking forward to.
So you know what? Some other real stuff that was going on too, right?
What happened?
How you feel about the post office? Like,
there's more 45 bullshit, yo. He said it.
He admitted it. Like,
he said it. Not to mention he owns another company that's competition with them anyway. But once he started talking all that mail-in ballot shit, and he started realizing that was going to be the only way for a lot of people, and he realized that they already had a chokehold on a lot of places based on the last shit that happened in Georgia and places like that, he was like, you know what? I could do shit that'll slow up everything, and then they'll have to say that these don't qualify and that it's not right, even if and whatever. And if I win, we gonna act like it don't fucking matter.
I'm just gonna go in with my mask and my gloves on and cast my vote.
Yeah, it's seeming like you're gonna have to bite the bullet this time.
Like,
on some real shit.
I'm not messing around with no mail-in.
But I'll say it again. This shit has shown us that democracy is not what the fuck we've been saying it is.
Not at all.
There is nothing that a seated president can do that he has to get the fuck out the seat for.
Right.
There's not nothing. What has this motherfucker done that was legal. He just got mad the other day because the reporter, and this was funny too, because I blame them too, because they played, going back to being politically correct. This motherfucker stopped being politically correct before he got elected. Y'all was asking him.
He was never politically.
Y'all was asking him nice questions all the way up until now. It took till now for a reporter to say, so do you even regret or feel bad about lying to the American people thousands of times? You mean to tell me this the first time somebody said that shit? We was at 4,000 lies in his second month in office. You motherfuckers is pussy. You scared to death.
Yeah.
Let a Charlemagne in that fucking room. Everybody want to give him so much pushback, but when he got the motherfuckers in front of him, he asked some real questions that's led, whether y'all know it or not, by people that really know what the fuck they're doing, do real things, and tell him this is the actions and these are the problems that we need to address when you have that fucking platform.
That's doing due diligence.
But people think it's just him being an asshole because he always pushed. No, he's pushing with a purpose now.
Absolutely.
So, not to defend him, because that's that man, you ain't got to agree with him. But I know that when he has these people in his fucking, on his platform under his grasp, he don't pull no punches. And he's not disrespectful. He doesn't put himself in a position where it jeopardizes more than he's already going to jeopardize by having an interview. He asks him the real shit.
True.
And even when they asked Hillary that cool shit and she said the pandering shit, he asked her, don't you think they're going to think that's pandering? Right. And she said, is it working? Like, it's about how you handle it. I can ask you anything, but I'm going to ask you.
Right. And, you know, I'm a proponent on it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. So just be ready for the shit, you know?
And at the end of the day, and I never want to do an interview and haven't had to yet that doesn't start this way. But if we start with respect, in between, we should carry it with respect. But I'm going to still get what I got to get my shit off.
Absolutely.
Like, you're not going to negate my job, because I'm not somebody that you can send a list of shit I can't talk about. Right. First of all, let's start there. You see what I'm saying? And depending on who you are, there's very few people that's going to be able to request me to not talk about anything.
Right.
And at that point, I probably wouldn't want to talk to you. I probably would rather wait. You know what I mean? Like, because if there's a subject that's a hot subject, that's a touchy subject that you don't want to discuss, then I need to get you at a time we got something else to talk about.
Right. Because
no matter what I want to talk about, you know me. I want you to big up your shit. I want you to promote what you're doing. But at some point, we going to get to the shits.
Right.
And not in a bad way, but let's touch on something that means something. I'm not trying to catch a soundbite, but I'm also not trying to dance around people like everybody else do. Mm-hmm. And finding a balance in that is what I've actually been better at than what I thought. Because I'm vicious. But I've been real nice to motherfuckers. Because it's not fair to somebody to bring them on your platform and make them feel like they drown.
I know that.
But I can ask you, how you gonna answer me?
We've had conversations about that too. You're good at gauging people too, like even body language. Like you've mentioned before, when people have either tensed up or you just notice something different when you said a certain thing. Mm-hmm. So that is good. That's a skill. That's definitely a skill. But that's what I was saying about journalism when you were talking about, you know, Charlemagne and, you know, people giving him information. That's doing his due diligence. That's what he's supposed to do.
When you got people like Angela Rye calling you their brother, you got Farrakhan line. You know what I mean? Other brothers, under Farrakhan, all type of people, brilliant people in Hollywood, like that bang with you. You got Van from TMZ,
right?
Formerly of TMZ. He got all kind of people that had a finger on the pulse.
He probably Van's Van Jones too. Cause I know he talks to him
he talks to Van Jones too. He talks to my son and what's her name? That's that all the marches. I thought of her name earlier too, huh? Tamika Mallory, and like he talks to these people on a regular basis. They text message him after they see certain interviews, or when they see, coming up soon, he's gonna have this person on. They hit him up, and he's not negating their expertise. And that's the thing that I always said. Like, and he used to say that. He used to say, Kanye shouldn't have went and did that. And they'd be like, well, if you had the opportunity, would you have went and had that conversation? He said, yeah, but I would have took somebody that knows what they're talking about. I know I got in there because of who I am, but I want to go there to address real shit.
Absolutely.
So if I wouldn't be able to include someone that could do so, then I don't want to be there answering for people in the wrong way.
Let me ask your opinion on this. I've never spoken on this before. But we were talking about Ye earlier, and the things that his rants and things, his behavior. But what do you think about Kim and her? I would like to have some of that.
Shout out Chick with the Juice.
Shout out to my sis, Chick with the Juice. But what do you think about Kim and her activism as of late? Like with
we with her freeing prisoners and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, like prison reform.
I feel like so far she's done things that has used her popularity and her leverage for good. With that, when it comes to that, I can't knock that unless I find out that it came from an ill place. I can't put that on her unless I find out it came from an ill place. I wouldn't do that. Now, she might be misled in a lot of her dealings, but if she's touched by some people's stories enough to go to bat for them, then I'm all for it. The problem is that she has more leverage than lawyers. Like, these people have appealed multiple times, been turned down for appeals, lost appeals.
That say something, don't
but
it?
her,
say something?
as her, who got to be in her the way that she got to be in her, not to negate any of her business savvy, has more
say something, though?
credibility in that world than somebody that's dedicated their life to this shit and lost a bunch of cases they should have won. Like, that's the thing. Like, it ain't her.
But then that be
when
real
it comes
too.
to that, I can't be mad at her.
Then it come down to favors. That should be real too. It come down to favors.
And that's why I say, if the other side come up, that we find out that this didn't come from a genuine place, which is something I don't want to put on. That's like snitching.
And I wasn't even talking about her. I'm just talking about the
snitching
justice
and
system in
AIDS.
general.
And I just don't put certain shit on people. And that's one of those type of things where it's like, if they doing good, you just got to see what it is. But if it comes back the other way, then she's an evil person and she's the fucking devil. Now, do I put that past her? No. But at face value, she's done some good for a few people, and they think it's genuine. When they spoke out about it, they thought it came from, and regardless, I think a lot of them could care less where it came from. They fucking home.
Exactly.
They fucking home. You see what I'm saying? But like, as far as that goes, I appreciate it right now. That's a good answer.
Yeah, no, I just wanted your perspective. It wasn't a good or a bad answer. I just wanted your perspective.
No, I'm just saying, because like, I'm critical of a lot of types of people, and they on that list.
I was definitely,
but I can't. This isn't one of the things I could point at as to why I dislike how they operate.
I questioned it at first.
I did too. I think everybody did.
Yeah, I was definitely questioning I was definitely questioning, the reasoning behind it, or not the reasoning, but if there was anything more than what we see at face value. But
well, I mean,
as long as they get where they got, that's all that matters.
Dig the fact that he had a relationship with the pedophile island boy, right? Talking about 45. He might got a behind the scenes relationship with them, beyond what we are aware of, as far as the family.
Well, obviously, there's something.
And mind you, it might be Chris's great uncle was cool with his dad. You know what I mean? And he respects their lineage. Like, you never know where a lot of this shit comes from. Like, they wasn't always who they are now, but they wasn't broke when we met them. Like, money been around for a while. He was hanging with OJ. Smarting with OJ, allegedly. Like,
right.
Let's be for real.
Right.
Money ain't new to them. So, they might have been in them circles. Like, you never know. You never know. So, that's how I look at that type of shit. Like, there might be a reason why she had that leverage, but at the end of the day, she has more leverage than great motherfuckers. They making movies about people that ain't got the power she got in law. That's amazing, but that comes with having a trick and a reality star for a president. Now you know them more chapters being added. What was the bar book about him? They say the golden showers and all that is coming out.
Oh, shit.
We're going to talk about all about it. All about it.
Oh, shit.
He about to make $1 billion more off a book. He going to say all about the golden showers.
They going to try and stop that book.
Nobody pees better than me. Look at my urine stream. It's the fullest you've ever seen.
It's very, very big.
Look, who cares about my pecker? Look at the stream. Just look at the stream.
I hate you.
It's fake news. It's not 3, it's 4. Anyway.
All I know is it's very, very bad or it's very, very big. That's all he says.
That's all he says. Very bad or very big. So when it comes
very
to
good.
So when it comes to his genitalia, I'm pretty sure we know how that conversation he's going to have about himself.
Very big and it's very good.
They were bad people, angry women. They don't really know how to use a ruler. They didn't have a tape measurer.
Yo, I hate you.
Don't you listen to them. She doesn't know what an egg looks like.
Perch your lips.
She's from Idaho. They know potatoes. They don't know eggs. I can't do the pouch the lips thing. I'm not into that. You will not shenane me. I can't. This is on camera. I'm not doing it.
It's not even shenane. His don't even shenane.
No, but that's how mine look. I got nigga lips. I don't got, you know what I mean? I got a little, you know what I'm saying, with my, you know what I'm saying. Okay. So it'll look different than his. He got to find his lips to poke him. It's different.
I hate you.
A little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. But yeah, so it's just a lot going on. I think that I mentioned before that the world is going to be different. Like you said, the last time we stopped was the Twin Towers. So that's what I was saying. I think the world is going to be different. It's just going to completely change. And
somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time I seen shit like this, like, and not like this, but like where like everybody was affected in some kind of way as a country, was the Twin Towers to me.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. That's what it reminded me of. So I'm just thinking of, actually, I want to be on the wave too, though. I'm just trying to think of some innovation, like
me too.
Some things to be.
But I think that we've also been doing it on the com. I think like our participation in some of the events that's coming up now, and that people are trying to figure out the digitalization expansion of your company that you were already working on pre-COVID. Like a lot of the things that we were doing are going to benefit us if we take this time. And not that you have a lot of extra time, but you have time that you could spend 15 minutes here and nobody can pay attention to what you're doing right here. You know what I mean? We can make the most of it. Like the fucking backdrop right there. You see that motherfucking shit size of the door. You know what I mean? Step and repeat, gang. We was going to put it up for the day, but it's actually kind of really too big for this space.
It's huge. That's how I know.
You're going to have to probably clear this and that's what I was explaining to somebody that mentioned before. They was like, "Your Jones." I'm like, I'm traveling with mine. I can't put that up everywhere. Like
I'm trying to figure out how I'm move with mine every time. Like,
but we gonna this is not gonna be a problem.
You gonna be good with that.
We got a lot of spaces to No, we got a lot of spaces coming up that will have space for that.
From moving around, I think I might just get another one.
I mean,
think
I'm gonna
set mine up for like behind when I'm doing my interviews. But other than that, when I'm moving, I'm gonna get a small one.
It's worth it. I mean, for anybody that's entrepreneuring, entertaining, doing anything like this, it's a worthy investment. Absolutely. It's not something that you really gonna miss.
Not at all.
Get your merch up. We got merch coming soon. Y'all saw me look at my phone about 15, 20 minutes ago. I just got a new design from Poe for some more merch. He sent me something this morning. He just sent me something now.
Hope you on it.
So I'm a bring back some old designs. Sav had on the Every Woman Needs a Barstool design a few weeks ago.
I did.
I had the I Heart Barstool. I'm gonna get configured probably by Kaya Poe. I had the logo joints on the side. I'm gonna bring some of those back, but I'm trying to figure out some new shit and some podcast specific shit.
Right. I'm trying to figure out the on the scene stuff too as well.
And it'll be coming very soon. Yep. Like super soon.
You gonna see our merch everywhere. You heard that?
I'm already seeing Flyboy Friday tees every fucking where, yo.
Right.
Like I swear every time I'm around him, he sell a handful, but then motherfuckers be popping up with them on, and I be like, that's about 7 I seen today. So that's a good sign.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good sign. So salute to the logo for putting the fucking work in. Shout out to Toucan again because he allows people to be great.
Absolutely.
And helps us with whatever the fuck we need to get done. But it's a lot of heavy lifting on that side, and I always want to tell people that I appreciate the motherfuckers helping me with these programs and platforms and shit. Mm-hmm. Same as always, shout out you and Font Productions, and it's like y'all make my job easy. I got a little thinking to do, a lot of moving to do, but way less stressing to do. Mm-hmm. You know, to get shit done when it's happening that way. And we only gonna get better.
Right.
Because a lot of us is just sharpening our shit. Can't wait till we get soon.
Right.
You know what I mean? We about to be Wu-Tang.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang. Matter of fact, get you some of this so we can drink to that.
I need some of that. Let's go.
Get you some of that. Hold up. I
got me. Boop.
You know what I mean? You cognac drinkers. No, we ain't got them easy unscrew tops. You gotta grab that cork out.
Let's go.
And then you gotta make sure the cork stay moist. But nah. What's going on?
Hey, so a lot of people was talking about just they tired of 2020. They ready for it to be over.
You know, we might be 105 degrees at Christmas the way 2020 been going.
Right.
Like 2020, I said this earlier. 2020 is the year that says fuck everything you thought you knew.
Absolutely.
Fuck whatever you thought you had a grasp on, and this is what the world is. It ain't that no more.
Yo.
And that's crazy. It's across the board for most people. Unless you was just somebody that stayed in the basement on your computer all day. That's how it is now.
Yeah. I was thinking about this too. Just some conversation on my way down, and I'm just thankful that I live where I live, because if I didn't turn on my TV, or if I wasn't involved as I was, like, I wouldn't know that anything was going on.
You said that on here before,
and I can appreciate, because before I never appreciated that growing up. I probably could have had a life similar to that. I never appreciated that though. I always wanted to be in the mix. I was always in the hood. But now I definitely know it's my responsibility to be aware. And to be involved as much as I can, but I appreciate my surroundings.
But that's really the divide in the country, is that you're dealing with a country full of people that never had to pay attention.
Absolutely.
And whatever they were fed was fed through a broadcast that broadcasted in a way that scared them and vilified us.
I can see how that can happen.
You see what I'm saying? And
I can absolutely see how that can happen.
I used the example before when I lived in Baltimore. Whenever I watched the news, it was only to see what the weather was. When I was in Philly, I'm paying attention to damn near every report because it pertains to a lot of people that I care about. Out there, I didn't know most of those people.
Right.
Not that I didn't give a fuck, and not that I wasn't running around the city and we wasn't getting into shit.
But that wasn't your core. That's not who you...
That wasn't, yeah. I'd be more worried about somebody telling me what happened back home, and I was getting regular reports on that on my sprint-to-sprint minutes. Like,
it was going down around that time. It was still going down, but...
Yeah, it was like, I couldn't stress about Philly and somewhere I'm just staying. But just imagine not even being from
where you at, and
then being in an environment where it's never had to be a thing. It's not a thing. It's not real. And I always use the Sopranos episode as an example too. When they say, I think they're just overwhelmed and they don't understand that there's structural and social things that exist that maintain this level of poverty and
things that don't exist,
ignorance, and things like that. And when I say ignorance, don't get it fucked up. I ain't calling nobody dumb. Ignorance is simply not knowing.
Exactly.
It's simply not knowing. Yep. Lack of knowledge is the professional way to say it. I try to keep it PG for y'all. But that's all it is. And it's not your fault. That's why ignorance is bliss. Because although knowledge is power, knowledge is responsibility. And you can't hold people responsible for things they don't know about.
Right. But I take it to be my responsibility to teach, encourage, motivate, whatever I need to do to positively impact whoever I can. I feel like I take that on as my responsibility. You
actually took the words out of my mouth. I wasn't going to say it exactly like that, but that's where I was about to go.
That's fine.
But that's what we here for. And that's why we try to not make everything about current events. I feel like speaking to your feelings about Kamala, most importantly, Kamala, I believe it's pronounced, was very important. I feel like the fact that regardless of how she fits into history, because that's been debated too, she is history. She's historical, whether they get elected or not.
As historical as Shirley Chisholm. Do they understand how?
Yeah, I had that conversation the other night. And one thing,
and we learned about Shirley Chisholm. We had Shirley Chisholm on our walls. I remember in Miss Wilson class. I remember.
In middle
I
school.
will never forget.
Miss Wilson, Lady Dowman. Yo.
Were we in Miss Wilson's class together?
We might have.
Did you have her for homeroom? No, you had Miss Garrison.
I ain't had Miss Garrison.
You had Miss Garrison? Yeah, well, so it was only 10 of us in that class.
I had Miss Wilson.
Me, you, Wes.
It
was me, you, Wesley. And she was, all the boys was cracking up, but she was talking about the bodies of water, and she was talking about... So, yeah, we was in that class.
She used to wear them low-cut shirts with them heavy Jamaican breasts.
Who was Jamaican? I was about to say, another Jamaican.
And she was old as hell, and she would eat...
I bet you Miss Wilson said she was black, though.
She would eat the craziest shit for lunch, like...
She always had fish, though. No, she had
fish. Like shit that when you came in the classroom 15 minutes later, you smell like that when you leave at the end of the day, because it just smells like that.
I remember always having tuna fish.
And yeah, and But what she used to do, she was one of the teachers that told me if I wanted to rap, write it in creative writing, and she let me perform it. Like when they would make you read your shit, she would let me rap. I love Miss Wilson. So like,
and she changed her name when she got married or something to
Miss Dowman. Lady Dowman. Well, it's Miss Dowman, but you know she's the queen, so Lady Dowman. But no, real shit. Like it
was only 10 of us in that class.
Even thinking about what I'm doing now, she was part of that. Just like Mr. Robinson was part of that. Like to be grown and realize, to anybody that's young that's watching this shit, you'll realize why you did all the shit you did in life. The shit you hated to do, the shit your parents made you do.
Too, though, you know, it's interesting to be reflective, to just reflect and think about how things impacted you and how people and places impacted you too.
But I'm literally utilizing all the shit that I cared about or was forced into, and none of the shit that I knew wouldn't matter.
Right. Guess what I told Shay? So I told Shay it's really interesting that shout out to Ivy Leaf. I feel like I don't feel like we ever have a conversation where we don't circle that, and it's not just because. It's not intentional. It's just so how it's that important and vital to our upbringing.
It's hard not to talk to people from there and not talk about it.
And not even, guess what? I talk about Ivy Leaf to people who didn't even go there or don't even know anything about it.
Every time I talk to y'all, motherfuckers like, yo, I'm so glad I went there.
Absolutely. So I was having a conversation with her yesterday, and I was just saying that how it's interesting that the two people that are closest to me right now are people who I've known from Ivy Leaf, and since I was 7 years old.
Fuck the millions of people you met between.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm cool with a lot of people. I know a lot of people, but the people who are the closest to me right now in this stage of my life are from Ivy Leaf, and it's really important because we bond and we connect in so many different ways. And I feel like
we have a common baseline, though. We have the same fundamentals.
Morals, values, some of the experiences that are most impressionable. You know, we was talking about that when you was on Flyboy about the guy about Veach, because he moved to Atlanta for between 7 and 14, and you were saying how formidable those years are your formidable years.
We was together.
So, and those are the years that we were together. Absolutely, those are the same exact years. Yeah. So, I was just speaking to that.
Like I always accredit, and I probably, that's me speaking for you, but I always accredit the fact that you understand and give a lot of my ideas and what I'm saying a chance, because you know what I come from and you respect me on a level of like, you knew how 7-year-old me thought. So if I'm saying it now, it comes from the same place, just a different brain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So you give it a chance, even if you like, I don't know where you're going with it, you don't shoot it down.
Not to mention, we was a driveway apart at that point, because I was at Vernon Road in Woolston. So my driveway was on the other side of your driveway.
Yeah. You was right by Kitty and Brandon.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's so many. I'm just saying that to say that we was close in so many different ways.
So many parallels. Well, I mean, the fact that we bumped back into each other around the time we started really reaching back out to each other all the time, the way we did was meant to be. Like, you in a car with somebody else, I'm just kicking it, and they pull up, and I know
that's the last person you would probably think to see me with.
Yeah, at that time, yeah, and partially because like you knew a lot and I knew a lot, and we knew a lot of the same things. But I knew a lot of shit you didn't know. Just like, you know what I mean? Like the stories you told me, I didn't know them happened. And that explains y'all friendship and all of that, because y'all was cool. But it was like,
you knew the other side. You knew some other stuff.
I've been knowing since been knowing. Like it was crazy. Like one of the wildest times in my life, I was around him and I wasn't even in the streets.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in the streets because of him.
Like, and he wasn't even in the streets. He used to do crazy shit.
Listen,
he used to do wild shit.
I think I attract that, yo.
He used to push the limit. Like he was an envelope pusher.
Do you know that everywhere? And I never, like, that was my folks. But do you know what I think I attract those people that push the limits. Like that's just what I'm like.
Look at all my young boys.
Look at everybody.
I attract that kind of energy too.
Look at everybody I always. I'm just saying, yo, I push it to the limit. I'm pushing it.
No, real shit though. Like, but see.
I told my mom that, and she agreed.
Part of it is, cause but part of it is freedom. Like there's certain people that's not going to conform, and when you keep getting resistance to the shit that you know is real, you not buying into nothing, and it can get real crazy. Now, some people just retarded or crazy or whatever, wild, don't give a fuck. But a lot of people are misunderstood and just trying to do their thing, and it puts them in a box to where there's nothing else they could do, because you're not going to fit in at this job thinking like you think, speaking like you speak, even if you're right. So, fuck no. It's me against everybody.
You know what? I noticed that somebody told me a long time ago that, and I argued with her. I argued so hard, and I argued this point until just now. I just had an epiphany. Yo, somebody told me, she was like, yo, you ain't cut Like, was one of my friends. She asked me to help her out with a job, but she was a manager, but she ain't had no employees. I was like, I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple hours a day. I'll help you out. But she was like, yo, you're not cut to take direction from nobody. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I know how to follow direction. Like, what are you talking about? It never occurred to me until just now that I'm really not. Like,
right.
Just for the simple fact that I'm used to, like, I can take direction. But if you're doing something that I clearly know is not the right thing to do, I'm going to voice my opinion. I'm not somebody who can just sit idly by ever. Yeah. Like, that's just not in my makeup. Like, I can't like do it. Neither. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what she was talking about. Like, I think that's how I receive it right now. Like, yeah, no, I'm not just going to follow the trend. I'm not going to follow anything. I'm going to do what I feel is deemed appropriate and necessary.
You know what's crazy with me? I'm a great soldier. And that comes from probably sports and all of that shit. Like, you tell me what the fuck the play is, I'm going to run in there, I'm going to run the play. I'm holding everybody on the team down. I don't give a fuck what. And I compare it to Wesley, who I spoke to recently. When I watched,
Your mom told me she seen him.
Yeah, I went to one of his football practices, and you know how they say that little guy gets his helmet in every play.
That's him.
That's him.
You know, I know.
That shit ain't had to be ran for him. He was in there cracking somebody, blocking for somebody. He was touching some action, and it's like when I'm at jobs, especially when I know like they're volatile positions, because I've had a few where like somebody can get hurt or sued or like things can get bad based on what happens now. I go out to fill whatever position I need to fill. But there's also a way to coach me. There's also a way to handle me. And the way to handle me is not to handle me. Understand that I understand and make me understand what you understand. But don't try to bamboozle me and gas me up and tell me company swing policies and swing moves and dumb shit that they told you to teach to idiots.
That's wrong. What's wrong with the police right now?
Yeah. It's a script of bullshit that you've learned that doesn't even work. Nobody trusts it. You know how much time the police have spent telling people, it's cool, you'll be out in a couple hours. How many of them people got out in a couple hours? Now when you say it's cool, you'll be out in a couple hours, which they only say to calm you down and make their job easier of putting you in a position that they're not even aware of where it's going to go.
Right.
Now, motherfuckers is like, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So you getting the same reaction that you would have got if you didn't say it. But now they're being crazy because you told them something that was supposed to calm them down.
Right.
Who the fuck are you?
Right.
You don't know what happens when you hand me over to this other computer.
Right.
You don't know what's on their screen. You don't know how they processing people that night. You don't know. I've been in the cell when the awards was on. They didn't process nobody till the awards went off. You know how long award shows are? You ever had to sit somewhere and listen to it blasting while you were in a cell?
Oh, no.
And know that that's the reason that this nigga's back here screaming?
No.
Somebody getting fucked up. Somebody sick because they got booked on some shit. You know, they got some shit in them and they going through withdrawal. Somebody phone call. They been here mad long. They know they supposed to have been processed by now. There was a rhythm going for processing at a certain point, which you're completely aware of. When you sitting still, not doing shit else, running through Wu-Tang and Locks and Jay-Z songs as a group.
Right.
Like, it's like the bullshit, but all they care about is, I ain't moving till this go off. They don't give a fuck about your, I'm going to be out in a couple hours.
Fuck no.
And when that happened, I was in, they say they can only keep you maximum 48 hours. I was in, before I got released, I was in at least 54, 56 hours.
Do you have a clock? Do you know what time it is? Do you see a clock?
Somebody usually has one, or when you go out processing, you find the time on something. Ask somebody, find it, whatever. When you talk to the judge, it's on the screen. Usually.
That's when you actually talk to somebody. So if you're sitting there,
you don't know what time it is. That's what I'm saying. When they process people, whoever came back will give you the last time check, and then it's estimated.
I know I'm off. I will be counting the minutes. I will be counting the 60 and counting how many times I count the 60. Using these little ass to every part of your fucking hand. That's how weird I am.
You do dumb shit. Like I read every name on the fucking ceiling in the walls before.
No, I'm telling you, I would use every line in here to count my 60 seconds just so I know how many times it was. Like I'm telling you, that's what I would do.
Yeah, but that's some OCD shit.
Exactly.
You somebody that'll go crazy.
Exactly. That's why I don't need to be there.
Yeah. I don't need to neither. I ain't gonna lie. And I tell people this every time. And I'm never gonna glorify nothing. I never did no time. I've been locked up before. I've been arrested before. For a lot of shit that they not even arresting people for now. But as soon as they slam that door, it's corny as shit. It don't take 2 months, 5 months, 5 years, 10 years. For me, It got corny as shit in 30 seconds.
Like, for real.
When that thing slammed and you look at how it's built and you like, oh, they made sure it ain't nothing going on. It ain't going nowhere. Oh, no, this corny. Fuck that. I got to piss shit in front of this motherfucker. I got to eat shit with cobwebs on it. Listen, this shit corny as soon as I got there. And that's why I don't throw bricks at the penitentiary. And that's why, like, you do what you can stand, and not saying that if then, but trust me, when they sit me, I'm already know.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no surprises. But like,
shout out to all my folks up there, man.
All my peoples that sitting. Salute to Chris. I talked to Chris this week, and I was with Ted yesterday. My youngin' Chris. Wow, but he should be out soon, man. It's just crazy, like.
Both my folks down for bodies, like.
Well, you know, he went in for a temp, did a lot of time, and then came home and went right back. So, and you talking about somebody that got hit like something in the teens and survived. That was crazy, but
But shout out to them, you know, freedom.
I mean, listen, man. I need my people home, especially times like this. Shit, where I don't want you boxed in around uncertain fucking. Like, was you crazy? Like, my man did something that might have violated his probation recently. He was telling me about it, and he was like, he hit somebody up that's a PO in a different place though, like, and asked him like, what's the potential that they'll do? Will they book me? She was like, during COVID, no. And so far that hasn't happened yet. He's still dealing with it. But the thing I thought about was like, during COVID, to lock somebody up for certain shit is literally cruel and unusual punishment right now.
Yo, my sister.
Whether they consider it or not, but in my head it is.
They gave my sister bail and then revoked her bail. That's some bullshit.
But
and
they do that.
Do nothing.
And it's not like it's weird, like it never happens.
She didn't even do anything.
Some dumbass shit to do to somebody.
Like,
why would you process me out? You know how long it take to.
She been there for 2.5 years. Like, damn, you gonna get like.
You ever try to get out the hospital? You know how they tell you like we gonna release you, we gonna.
I've never been in the hospital.
Or you ever had somebody in the hospital and they called you like, yo, I'm about to get out of the hospital in like 15 minutes, and then they get out 4 hours later.
Oh yeah.
How you think it is to get out of a prison? They wake you up, they get you ready. You sit in a cell. You sit in another cell. You go through. It take as long to get home as she was home.
How do they give you bail and then revoke it?
She spent the same amount of time trying to get home and back in that she spent at home.
She was only home for a week and a half.
So she spent the day trying to do it. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you spend a whole day worth of time most of the time because like they wake you up with this shit because you already know. So you up early. They try to get you through everything before everybody starts going in, you know, they thing. Then they put you in a cell with your shit. Put your clothes on. You know, put you in and transfer you to another cell, transfer you to a vehicle, move you to somewhere else. Like, this is a whole thing. And mentally, it's a whole thing where if y'all got a glitch in the matrix, y'all need to have it all the way clear. And if you fuck up, then I should get some more time on the streets.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about programs, because that's what they are, that are built under the guise of reforming people. They get away with shit that I couldn't do working at a behavioral health facility.
Right.
So do the police when it comes to restraints and shit. This shit that I could go to jail for doing my job with somebody that is documented to not have control of themselves. And I'm there to help them. It could be on camera that something just went wrong, that it wasn't vindictive.
Right.
And I can still be liable. My family could lose on behalf of that for a job that doesn't give me the pension you motherfuckers is going to get. Damn sure not in the time period you can get it. And I don't have the kind of overtime you got. My overtime, I work.
Guess what? They talk about defunding the police. I feel like everything needs overhaul. I feel like the whole country, let alone world, everything needs to be start over. It just needs to
what I do know about the U.S. is a lot of our laws, a lot of our guidelines, even down to income taxes, is based on bullshit.
Absolutely.
That needs to be done. Our justice system is based on slavery. That needs to be redone. It doesn't even
make sense. It's based on some shit from centuries ago.
It needs to be redone. I know that
shit's archaic.
It's a lot of little dumb shit. Like some things are being forced. Like now, you ain't gonna have all these people that's forced to go to a job that they could work from home no more. because it ain't gonna make sense in a minute. So they're being forced into something that they should have been figured out. But you realize
I've been saying that to where
we've had politicians. What's his name? Andrew Yang. What did he say before this shit? Give every family $1,000, $2,000, whatever he was saying, right? What do they wind up doing?
Getting everybody.
What are we talking about now? Giving everybody like, yo, he said that. He also said 4-day work weeks.
Guess what I'm on?
Guess what everybody's about to be
technically it's a 5-day work week, but 4 days are in person every other day, and then everybody works from home Friday.
But look, they're gonna start regulating offices like schools. A team, B team, B team, B
That's
team,
what it
A
is.
team, B team.
That's what it
So
is.
y'all in, y'all home, y'all in, y'all home, y'all in,
That's
y'all
what
home.
it is.
So like, what's like? This is all the shit that seemed like crazy when he said it. We might need to look to him for some more shit.
Yeah.
He be knowing and saying, him and Bernie. I mean, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention when we were speaking about Kamala, but we kind of went wild with that, which was fine. I'm not complaining. I know that part of being a politician sometimes, especially on that major level, the president and vice president and all of that, Senate,
Right.
a lot of the times, even when, and not saying that they're doing it for this purpose, but like a Bernie Sanders type, even when you know you're probably going to lose, it's worth it just to bring up the issues and make them policy
awareness. So they
yeah,
know.
and because
and knowing is half the battle. Right?
half of the shit we're talking about
what
now,
do I say? And knowing is half the battle.
half the shit we talking about now is what Bernie and Andrew Yang been saying.
Sure.
And I'm hoping I'm getting it right. Andrew Lang,
Yeah,
Andrew
no, yeah,
Yang,
you're right. I
it's
believe you're
Yang.
right. Yeah,
I don't want to disrespect, but
you from Jersey, right? Both from Jersey.
I think so.
I think you from Jersey.
But
I think. I don't know. But
they've been saying this shit that made sense, but look at the way they were ostracized for it. When, as a community, we know that shit make more sense than anything. But we're afraid of change, too. But now we're in a position where you have a country that has a budget to be able to do so. And they were aware of that. They were aware of the fact that you make more money legalizing marijuana than fighting against it.
Mm-hmm.
They were aware of the fact that you're better off giving people money than having to do all these crazy bailouts and balancing tricks later. At least people won't be in poverty. California, L.A.
Mm-hmm. New York. It's not Jersey, New York. Yes, you're right, Andrew Yang.
Even New York. People are fleeing from these places right now.
Yeah.
Because they're paying way too much for way too little.
Jersey, too.
But you got all these homeless people there. Where Cali is the richest state in the country. They're richer than, if they were their own country, they'd be number 4 in wealth. The balance is going to come.
Disparity though between
the balance is going to come whether they want it to or not. It's about how it's handled. It could be ugly. It's like the Tupac speech. We knocked on the door. We said, "Hey, y'all need some food? I'm hungry."
Right.
I'm banging on the door. Next thing you know, I'm kicking the door and
in.
I'm coming in with my scope out and I'm taking what I want. Like, it's going to be either like that or y'all are going to give legislation, mandates, considerations.
Right.
Because and you know what's crazy? Considerations are a part of politics. Like, you wouldn't even think.
Are they now?
Yes. When they for the right people.
Exactly.
It's like affiliates.
Absolutely.
like no, he ain't, but he covered. You can't touch him. So at that point, we let that slide where that go down. Mm-hmm. But like, that shit is just like I said earlier, man. The stuff I've been saying, the stuff I've been getting in trouble in school for, is all coming to pass right now.
Right.
And it's the same thing with these politicians. It's like the stuff that they've been ridiculed for, the stuff that they said that was about people. It wasn't about them. It wasn't about this is a slick way to get in the office. It was about, you know what? If I'm going to make an impact, this is how I could be most useful. Was ridiculed by the masses so that a motherfucker get in the office that don't give a fuck about nobody but 2 people.
Right.
And that's probably his dad and his daughter.
That's crazy.
Just think about it.
I mean, it's not all.
Shit is amazing. And I'm not saying allegedly to that. He don't give a fuck.
Right.
He don't give a fuck. That nigga that hired friends, fired friends, hired friends, fired friends, cut
True.
friends. Like, he don't give a fuck.
True. That is very true.
He built all his own shit up. Remixed it 5 times already. After putting a bunch of people in positions they didn't deserve. Freaky. See what you did there? Not fucking with Saf, man.
All
Not
day he
fucking
is.
with
I
Saf.
promise you that one.
She don't leave me no choice, man. If any of y'all listen, if any of y'all want to take her off my hands, we wrote a number on the pad. If you send us a comment and proof that you can provide that number or above, we give it to you. You can have her.
Shit.
It's called a salary, but yeah, we ain't talking about no freaky shit. It's called a salary.
Oh, we wasn't.
But she can sit next to you for the right number, and I
see.
won't have to worry about it. I'll find somebody. I'll be all right.
No, he won't.
I'm gonna find something, man. I know people.
They not like me.
I ain't gonna lie though. Like, one thing for sure, two things for certain. There's only a few females. I ain't saying a handful. I'm saying a few that I think that in my head will work for what you have to deal with for me every
Appreciate
week.
you.
But
the other two, I'm coming for y'all. It's like, no, I'm playing.
But no, the crazy thing about that is like even with it being the few, maybe one, if that, would be able to do it.
Right. No,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
you know, I'm messing with you.
Like you have no idea.
I'm just
like,
being funny about few.
I'm giving the few.
I was just being
yeah,
funny.
I know, but I'm giving them credit based on theory. You've
Right.
shown improved,
Nah,
and
I'm just playing.
we 60 episodes or some shit in now. Like, it's been a long run.
Let me tell you the love I
motherfuckers-
got for you. I've been coming through. You understand? Like, life
Tell
hit
them.
hard.
You ain't got to tell me. Tell them.
I ain't telling them shit that just life hit hard, and I still come through for my folks because it is what it is. And
But
that's what
you
I do.
also the consummate professional, and this ain't some shit that you.
Do you know you're the second person that told me that? My cousin in DC, who I only met him when I was like 25, and I only saw him like 3 times in my life. And we like so close, and he always says that though. But he says that our family is the ever consummate politicians. Because they were in DC. They from down DC. Like,
That's amazing.
yeah. So it's funny you said that though, because you're the second person to say that. So for
Oh.
anybody even say, like, people don't even know what that word means, let alone to use it with me.
Yeah, well, I don't use words I don't understand. But it's one of those things where it's like, I know you got a lot going on, but I also know that you feel like if you don't accomplish some things, then you're failing.
Absolutely.
Whereas if people have an excuse, then they think it's a reason and they're not going to do it.
Right.
And we've explained excuses and reasons on here before.
Yeah, it's really true. A lot of people, when I talk to like
Like,
things
I
about personal
overslept
things,
is an excuse. You didn't prioritize and you didn't set your alarm, so
Right.
you overslept is the reason.
right? Or you was like them teachers you used out the night before.
Right.
No,
You didn't
but-
prepare, basically.
That's true. Yeah, that's really true. But no, I just really try to maintain everything I can. Like, you always gonna be faced with life's punches or whatever it is. But somebody was asking me like, "Yo, you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm in execution phase. Like, yo, I talk to you when I feel like talking to you. Right now, we gotta get shit done, and that just is what it is."
But like I said, and I said this to Juice Chick too, because she's a hustler.
I love her. I love my
And
sis.
she's also a wife, a mother, a sister,
Entrepreneur,
daughter,
all that.
all that cool shit that everybody, all these other hats that people gotta wear. And I told her, I said, one thing about doing your own thing, and even if you're doing it in conjunction with a company, like you have a job but you have your own thing.
Right.
When it's your own thing, there's never a reason to say I'm not gonna go get that.
Right.
So at that point, you owe it to yourself to make sure that you're okay.
Right.
Make sure you get your rest, your breaks, just for
Absolutely.
mental shit. Make sure
eating is important.
make sure
because
you
I haven't
do some
been
fun
eating
shit.
Is good too.
go do iFly or fucking go
we doing
swimming or something. We could do that soon.
We
We
supposed
could
to be
do.
doing that.
Well, we could chop it into an episode after we do it too. We get some footage, but like just do something that makes sense. And like I said, I keep saying it because I actually been thinking about it more this week. I'm about to start fucking with my coloring books. I ain't really got into them.
Them joints are so dope.
But between the bike and the coloring books, it's like I told my parents. I said I ordered shit at the beginning of the pandemic that I probably should have been had, but I wasn't paying attention to what it takes for me to relax.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like that's our responsibility when we're not regulated by somebody else's clock. Because even if we're regulated by somebody else's clock and we work all the overtime in the world, there's still a point where it's like, no, fuck them.
Right.
But when that money,
always a point where there's.
but when that money comes straight home, it's kind of hard to not get out your bed sometimes when somebody tell you they got something over 20 for you.
Listen, I'm definitely at the point where it's definitely fuck them. Okay,
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm definitely there. But it's important that we maintain, our own, health and wellness. You got to make sure that you eat. You got to make sure that you keep your sanity. You got to stay stress free. Like, I feel this crick in my neck. I was telling you about that frog in my throat. That stress. I feel it. Like, so it's important that you maintain, your health and wellness. It's super important. It's super important.
It becomes your job because it's like a glitch. Like you don't realize it until you burn out. And I've hit a wall before, and I'm sure you hit a wall before. And when you hit that wall, it's on some road running shit. It literally comes out of nowhere. You don't know what's going on, and then a day or two later, you think about it and be like, "Nigga, I've been just floating for 3 weeks. I should have been laying down, drinking water, something."
That's my entire life.
I should have went to the beach or something. Like,
yo, I'm about to take some time to really like just recharge, just really recharge, because I feel myself being drained, in every manner. You know what I'm saying? Just in every way. So I just feel like it's super important for people to just be in touch with themselves and their own health and wellness, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. So I'm gonna take care of her. Like that's what I do.
I'm gonna take care of her. But no, what you
I'm a caregiver, I guess is the proper way to say it. But
I mean, in a lot of ways, me too, which is why I hurt so much when I had to take so much time from seeing my grandma. And every time I see her now, she guilt trips me about not having regular breakfast.
I love your grandma too. You are so blessed. Your family is just so dope. You are. You really are. I mean, I know I am too, but to know my extended family, like they just so dope. Like I saw your mom. I was talking to your mom for a little minute. I saw her yesterday.
You know, my family is your family. Man.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. My extended family, like.
But that's part of like, and I wasn't the only one. But like, even when we talk about my squad from school, like, that's been my energy, because it's been around me so much that it's like, if we gonna be squad, then we gotta be family. Like, if it's
absolutely
your peoples and I don't know them, but you say that's your folk,
then that's folk.
Then that's folk, and they safe, and they drunk, and they fed, and they whatever they need. Like,
they got somewhere to lay down when they get to.
Yeah, you ain't even gotta be there. You got something set up, sit on my crib. You can get my couch. Like, it ain't no thing. Like, but a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people have pointed out to me and us in the last 10 years or so, like, yo, how much they value, honor, and respect this thing of ours. But it's really just the family philosophy. Like, you gotta want for your brother like you want for yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, what I want for my wife, I want for my mother. What I want for myself, I want for my brother. Like, that bean shit, that shit is real shit, because absolutely, the fake shit is gonna happen. The bullshit is gonna happen. But it won't be your fault, and you won't be as responsible if your intentions was right, and absolutely, if you keep your eyes open to the possibility that it can happen, and you know what, that's somebody I'd have spent $1,000 on tomorrow. If I lost him for $50 a day, I won $950.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I won $950.
Absolutely.
And you know how we play. It could be a bean just going to fucking lunch real quick and chopping it up just on drinks and the appetizer.
Right.
So when people crumb for crumb shit, and not that everything crumbish is monetary, but that's just an example of it, it's like, you know what? You don't need to be in this family. And that's fine.
Right.
But I value my folks, man. And that's what my family has taught me. My family has literally taught me how to be selfless. Like, I've been a kid.
My dad taught me so much. I'm about to see my dad when I leave here, and I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, just some things that he taught me. I just appreciate the values, the lessons, the etiquette. Mm-hmm. Just so many things. Like, I just appreciate it. I'm just appreciative right now, because there's a lot going on.
That conversation y'all had when you were saying that you thought that he should have lined things up different, and he was like, I got you the best education I could give you.
Right. He ain't lied. My dad paid for my college degree out of his pocket. I don't have shit. I don't have no loans. And you when I was with him.
What did I say when he said that? Amen.
Yeah. My dad paid for my shit out of his pocket.
Is an OG for that. He an OG for that.
I don't know how many men can say they pay for their daughter's degrees out of their pocket, no loans, no nothing.
Yeah,
like,
not college,
I ain't get shit.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. The entire degree he paid out of his pocket. I don't have a fucking loan because of my dad. You know what I'm saying?
That's a blessing. I still got to get right. I'm actually benefiting right now from them stalling all that shit.
Yeah. I feel that. God bless everybody that is. But guess what? My dad paid for that shit out of his pocket. I used to be like, Dad, I need a check for, and he used to give me that shit. Like, and I mean, I used to give him the invoice. I ain't even take my dad under. Like, a lot of people probably would have took their folks under. Like, I ain't doing that. Like, no, I'm going to give you the invoice. This is exactly what it is.
No, that's
like,
crumb shit. I had loans, but I respected what my dad was pulling out of his pocket.
No,
that's part of the reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to my dad. Why?
You know how much shit I could have did in school that would have been selfish?
I did have a carte blanche dinner meal, though. I could go to school. Like, I didn't even live on campus. But I can go to the fucking cafeteria anytime I wanted to because I had carte blanche. I did order that joint. Like, hold up. Put that carte blanche on that shit. And it was literally called carte blanche. Like, It was literally called that.
Yeah, the fact you keep saying that is funny as shit. But like,
Cause that's dope. Cause I didn't really like. I knew what it was, but when you become an adult, you understand what carte blanche is. Mm-hmm. When you younger, you be like, "Oh, I know that's dope," but okay, whatever. But now when I pay bills, I'm like, I had carte blanche, bitch. I ain't even live on campus. Why did I have carte blanche? Like that means you can go to the cafeteria at midnight.
You supposed to like work for them to get type shit like that. Like.
So shout out to my dad. I'm gonna post soon. I don't post a lot, but I have some dope photos of my legacy, my grandfather, my great grandfather, my dad with Farrakhan, my dad with Bill Clinton, my dad with Phyllis Hyman, my dad with so many people, and I have like a picture of myself with all the pictures surrounded by me, surrounded around me, and I'm gonna post that soon. So shout out to my legacy.
Salute OG, man.
Yeah, my dad is the shit. I'm gonna see. I gotta remember. I gotta go to my dad's house when I leave here.
Yeah, we was with him recent, a couple months ago, at your house at the cookout.
Yep.
We was kicking it, and it's funny because like, it's like I know he remember my mom. He don't quite remember me, but he hears about me
because you
all
look
the time.
so different. Do you know how? Do you understand how different you look from when we was in school?
But when I'm talking to him, he looking like, yeah. I'm like, oh, so we here, we good. Like you ain't listen. We can start over today.
Right.
It don't matter to me.
But do you understand how different?
But I don't hold him accountable for that.
Do you understand?
I don't hold him accountable for that.
But as soon as I say name, he be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I know it, and I know it. He's that's what he's associated while he's watching me talk, and I'm just like, we ain't got no problems, OG. We good because I see his reaction to it, and it's like he chilling, and he's older
too. My dad is 70 years old.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, my dad is 70 plus.
Yeah, so you know,
my dad I think 73.
Shit, but my dad been retired for 13 years. Like, your dad's still mixing and moving and shaking.
My dad retired about that long ago, too.
Did he? He don't be home?
Because he's still at the barbershop.
Exactly, he's still there.
Yeah, my dad fake retired.
Only place my dad go to is the gym.
No, you know what's funny? Both my parents fake retired. My mom retired from somewhere you can't retire from.
Can't tell.
My mom retired from somewhere you can't retire from. And my dad retired to keep working.
Listen, only place my dad goes is the gym. He goes to the gym 3 times a week.
Dope. That's the life. We trying to get mine to sit the fuck down. Like when COVID happened, I was excited. Like, yo, he gonna have to stay at the house. He can't do all that shit.
No.
Soon as listen, but you
had a tumbo finger up for you.
My mom did say, she said that he slept good during that, like was sleeping, like to the point where she was kind of getting worried. Like,
but he needed that.
As soon as that shop opened back up,
it's a wrap.
Nigga, please, all that shit out the window. Right, and that's what I'm saying. When you working for yourself, same thing we was talking about. When you hustling for yourself, man,
right.
It's hard to turn that chicken down. And he owns the barbershop. The shop gonna run whether he there or not.
Right.
But it's not gonna run the same whether he there or not.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? He gets chair rent or percentage. I don't know how he's running it at this particular time because I'm sure it shifted a couple times depending on who he had in there or what the clientele looked like. But he's gonna get a check from there regardless, and he has enough to chill. But he ain't gonna stop trying to win. He not gonna stop trying to build to leave more behind than he had. And it's like until he feels like he needs to, he ain't gonna do it. Now, am I trying to convince him to? Abso-fucking-lutely. But what's the alternative?
Right.
Like he'll be one of them people where you'll have to like teach him how to sit still.
I was thinking about that with my dad, like in regards to like my magazine, and it's so funny you were saying that as we were speaking, just as you were talking, I'm just like off thinking about like all of the people who he used to do business with, and it's like he been like kind of out of touch, but he wanna like still do business, so I feel like I'm about to be like the middleman of like, but it's gonna profit on it's gonna be for me though, but he's like my dad is still with it.
No, not for you.
I get it.
It's for your legacy. Your legacy
is
your legacy.
Exactly. Not me specifically, but our legacy. Him,
yeah, but I just want to be clear.
Kids.
I want to be clear because sometimes you say it's going to be for me. It's like it's guilty thing. Like, no, it's for the thing.
I don't even care about that.
It's for the whole thing.
That's the last thing I care about. But it's about the legacy. Like, I'm 4 generations in. I can't leave it. I can't stop that.
But if he turn up with you, y'all going to have a ball, though.
He already is. You know how many people my dad done stepped to already? Like, yo, this is my dad.
I know you're approaching them folks, but if y'all... I know y'all ain't really made nothing official.
No, he has though. He made shit more official than I have. That's the crazy shit.
But watch when.
Yo, he's going hard.
I know. He
don't at know 70. You understand?
But what else do we know though? Like what else? What else do he know?
He don't know nothing else. You're right.
And that's the problem with my pop. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's like.
And that's what made me think about
what's the alternative? Like, we know they like to travel. they not gonna go away every week though. Like I'ma have to like he's gonna have to be like my like I'm gonna have to be big brother, he little brother. I have to find activities for him every so often to do to keep him occupied.
Right.
Like it's crazy, but and I mean he knows everybody. But one thing about my dad is he don't mind chilling.
Shout out Mr. Rice.
If he's not doing nothing, he'll chill. But he can only chill but so long. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm in the same way.
And when it get cold and it ain't no excuses to bounce around and shit, to support, shit, because my mom keep him in. We gotta go to such and meet me at such and such when you get off, and he be popping up.
He be there with it.
Yep, sleep.
Oh man.
Oh, my dad sleep anyway. He a G. He don't give a fuck about y'all. He been working.
That's funny.
You get his drink, sleep, don't spill a drop. But no, it's been a fun episode, man. I feel like we probably lengthy. Good times. We gonna get off of here and smoke another one off camera.
Absolutely.
But let the people know where your life at, where to find you at.
So you can find me on thescenemagazine.com for your positive platform, everything from entertainment to education from a positive perspective. Holla at me on thescenemagazine.com. New episode, new edition coming out soon along with this episode. Holla at me.
Say that. But no, Sippin with Sammie episodes every Thursday at 4 p.m. on all major streaming platforms. Wherever you listen to your podcast at, more than likely we there. So if you can't catch the visuals, catch the audio, travel with us, man. We good for airplanes and car rides, man. We a little bit funny, very, very, very,
we're informative at the end of the day. You
informative.
Gonna get what you need and what you want. Holla at me.
I was going to say informative, but I was trying to figure out a word that didn't take so much umbrage. Because we don't know everything, but we try to get into what we do.
We be getting into it, though.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just something to vibe to. And like I told somebody one time, I was driving home one time from out of state.
Oh.
Everybody in the car was asleep. I put a podcast on. I felt like the people was in the car with me, cracking jokes with me. Got me all the way home, woke me the fuck up. So, utilize us, man.
You definitely going to get that energy. You going to get that energy.
Yeah, make it make sense. But also, every Flyboy Friday radio on Glocawear Radio 4 to 6 p.m. because we control happy hour. That's the best happy hour in the world on the greatest station in the nation.
Absolutely.
Flyboy Friday Radio on Glocawear Radio. Support our sponsors, man. Chick with the Juice.
My sis.
Baked and Fuck Goods. Flyboy Friday Radio merch. Font Productions got the merch. Font. Get with Font. The Dutchie Man and Friends virtual concert has been released. It is out. It is dope.
And you will definitely see the write-up on the Scene magazine, so check it out.
Your boy had an opportunity to be media at that event. I got some good interviews in a little bit of time that we had. We made the most of it and had a good time with some people that I respect a lot. Whatever you don't catch on the Dutchie Man and Friends video on YouTube, you can also find on the Sippin with Sammie, Trippin with Sammie from the Dutchie Mans and Friends concert. And that's where you'll see my lovely co-host and a host of others that you may not have known was even a part of the show, man. It was a great night. It was a lot of good energy. I met a couple people and I seen a lot of people and was able to give them their flowers and salute them in real time.
Absolutely. That's what it was all
and
about.
That was dope. It's always fun for me because that's the best part of this shit for me. Because anything that you know about entertainment, if you know anything about it, is that every run ain't the same.
No.
So you got to find things that's tangible to depend on. You can't worry about
peaks and valleys,
financials and numbers all the time. You got to worry about the people that you deal with, the relationships you build, and the outlets that you can build off of that so that you can build stability.
It's really important about maintaining relationships. A lot of people don't understand about maintaining them,
And that's
Even
hard.
if you don't got nothing going on, just check in. How you doing? Just checking in to see what's going on.
And that's
I'm
the
gonna see
thing.
you soon.
Be thoughtful with your downtime because we know you're busy.
Absolutely.
But it's hard. It's hard.
A lot of people don't think about that. But yeah.
That's a fact. Shout out to Authentic Bars. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to Ant.
Del P.
Ant Live. Del P. It's crazy, Del, too. I'm naming people that just randomly check on me.
Right.
Hennessy Kev.
Del P. Wife checked on me, too. I appreciate the whole fam.
Salute to her, man. Salute
she
to her,
so
man.
Dope.
That queen is dope. She has merch out here. Y'all can get from her. It's not even merch. She has products.
She has products that are amazing.
She has products. I'm so used to saying merch. I'm sorry, queen. But she has products out here that y'all can get from her.
Love is her page, right?
Check her out.
Z-A-I-N-A.
We got the organic bug spray. Best bug spray I had
All
in a long
natural.
time.
Know
My
what's-
mom
know
had
what
some
you
shit
putting on
that
your
was some
skin,
shit.
okay?
But the shit my mom had probably cost quadruple what this one do, and it's still hitting for everything.
Absolutely.
So like
But shout out to the fam.
yeah, salute to everybody that holds us down, man. We got a lot of surprises, a lot of good things we're gonna do with this platform.
Can't
We
wait.
waiting for the doors to open a little wider to the church so we can get in there and say,
You know,
yeah,
kicking them Jones in.
you know what I mean. But we trying to be responsible. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
things
And
we could have
accountable,
done,
Yes, absolutely.
but to be socially responsible is one of the first things I want to do. So if you missed the cookout, just understand that I know what my cookout, how many cookouts mine breeds every summer. So I'm pushing the brakes a little bit, so maybe somebody else will push the brakes so that we can get out of this sooner. And I'll do something in the fall for y'all with no problem.
Being
It ain't
very
about
responsible.
nothing. It's not about nothing, man.
Yep.
Like I said, appreciate y'all. We see y'all later. I have been sipping with Sammie, Sam alone, Barstool Rule. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together.
Oh.
And
You know, this Sunny Brick. I'm in the building. Well, yo, I'm in the building. Let
she
me say
fucked
that
it up
right.
twice this episode.
I did not.
Peace.
It's the king of hooks, baby. Sam alone, what up? Corey. Yeah, man. They ain't ready. Don't get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
They ain't ready. In the streets, we can't cry no more.
Slick as I wanna be, smoothest ever seen. Melody could be felony, what you telling me? Learn to play from Bill Bellamy, Peter Guns, someone else. I'm something else, something different. That's what she sniffing. Caught Malone shit, different from pimping. Scene was basic till I slipped in. Trapping, loading, clipping, saying all niggas bitches. I call niggas bitches. Like bitch, handle business first, boy, yak like incense. Twist 3, dismiss, that's Malone's mistress. Music business, I'm trafficking. What was mastered in, led through a path to sin. Walls crashing in, cashing in. Couldn't figure out what was happening, but trapped again. Backfire from trapping in. Ironic as hell, my pocket's loud in the cell while waiting on Tiny to post bell. Oh hell.
Don't get what you're looking for. They ain't ready. In the streets, we can't cry no more. They ain't ready. Gonna fight right through the pain. They ain't ready. Till see me walk through the gate.
Can't fight tears, I can't find fears that ain't mine. Can't see big blind, spend time showering shit time. Outside I'm on hills, all 10 grounded. Light tunnels with backwoods, spark woods countless. Nights pitch black, go legit, switch back, loud pack, 6-pack, V8 hardly switch that. Ready to flip mattress, couches, and pout. Something about grinding it out, I'm so bout it. Ready to get what I came for. Same ball, plenty corners bent in my stint, I became more. When it became war, I gave him Armageddon. Born legend, Sammie the veteran, I would bet on him. Follow his lead, take heed, use caution, never the one flossing. Respect due bosses, respect who the raws from up top.